Today, I am teaching you 5 red flags to watch out for in doctors, practitioners, and coaches. Understanding these 5 red flags will save you so much time, so much money, and so many potential health issues in the future because you will be better informed on how to effectively heal your body and what is not super effective to heal your body to be more mindful, okay? Now, a little disclaimer, this podcast isn't to put doctors down or to put these health coaches down at all, but instead it's to inform you on what is actually needed to help you heal your body and why, maybe if you've tried these things in the past, why it's not helped you see sustainable change, okay? So make sure that you pay attention, take notes, because this is gonna be a fire podcast. So the first big red flag is that they ask you a few questions and then order super basic labs to see if you actually have issues, okay? This is a huge red flag to me and something that I see doctors do quite frequently, right? People will be like, oh, I'm having gut issues. And they're like, well, how long has this happened? You know, what if we're not able to uncover what the actual issue is? And I'm going to share this with a story. So I went to the doctor with someone to ensure that the doctor would order the labs that I wanted to get to be able to, discover what was going on deeper, right? Because this certain individual didn't want to pay for labs. So I was like, okay, let's see what we can get from the doctor and through insurance. So anyways, we come to the doctor and this individual is like, okay, so I'm experiencing, XYZ. They were all, tied to his gut. They were all like symptoms tied to his gut, right? And the doctor was like, okay, they asked a few questions. I think it was like, how long has this been going on? Blah, blah, blah. And that was like the person kind of like taking his intake before the doctor actually got there. I forgot what they were called, probably the nurse. But anyways, with that being said, once the doctor came in, he was like, okay, so what's going on? And then he asked literally a few questions. And then asked, okay, so what would you do if we're not able to find anything wrong? And I was like, okay, if a doctor asks you that, please be concerned, because this is my opinion. I know there is probably a certain reason that doctors ask this question, but this is concerning to me because when people come to me with an issue, I may not immediately be like, oh, I know exactly what it is. Most of the time I am able to like understand, symptoms, and, causes of those symptoms. But sometimes I'm like, okay, I actually don't know what this is. But instead of being like, so what if we're not able to find something? What I share with people is, okay, let's figure out the root cause of these symptoms and how we can heal your body. So instead of just right off the bat being like, so what if you're not able to heal your body? That does not give people very much, I guess you could say like, not like motivation, but that does not give people like hope. Yes, that's the right word. It doesn't give people hope that they're actually going to be able to, heal their body. And it doesn't give them much hope in the doctor either. I mean, people tend to have like blind trust for doctors. So, lacking trust isn't really one thing for me. That made me lack trust in that doctor specifically because I know the medical system and how messed up it is. But for other people who tend to just trust doctors blindly, it may not decrease their trust in that doctor necessarily, but it decreases their hope and their trust in their own body's ability to heal. Because they're like, well, maybe this is just something that I'll have to live with for the rest of my life. And that is not a fun place to be, okay? So yes, if a doctor just asks you a few questions and then orders super basic labs to see if you actually have an issue, like this doctor, for example, he was like, okay, so we're going to order, I requested, I don't even know what he would have ordered if I didn't request stuff, but I requested that he got a, stool test. I requested a GI map, but doctors can't even order a GI map. I requested a thyroid panel, iron panel, sex hormone panel, as well as just like the CBC, CMP. I messed this up for a second. And some other inflammatory markers. And the doctor was like, okay, well, we can't order an iron panel, but I can order ferritin, and I can't order a thyroid panel, but I can order TSH. And based on those numbers, if they're off, then we can order, a comprehensive panel. And I'm just sitting here like, I could literally get all of these things ordered for my clients. It's not covered by insurance, but I can get all of these things ordered for my clients super quickly, right? So they'll be able to uncover the root cause of their issues without taking months of tests and then getting more tests if those tests are off. And the other thing that I also want to talk about within this point is there are so many times, I don't know if you've heard on social media, people talking about their health issues and how they healed from them eventually. When you get labs done from the doctor, the standard reference ranges that they use are not healthy range. I guess you could say they're average ranges from the general population, okay? And most of the time, the people who are getting these labs done, they're not healthy, okay? So instead, what I do for my clients is I order them, functional labs, what they need to be able to uncover the root cause without, again, months and months of like going back and forth with labs. And I compare their ranges to the optimal functional range instead of the just standard reference range. That way we can see, okay, this is optimal for them as a female. There's there's optimal ranges for females and males. So I compare them. If it's a female, I'll compare it to the optimal range for a female to ensure that their range isn't just normal, right? If you hear a doctor be like, oh, your labs are normal, that does not mean that it's optimal, okay? Another thing, it's also really important, even with functional lab testing, labs have a very large range of error. And when you're testing and when you're testing hormones especially, they can range widely depending on, the food that you eat, what time of day you took it, where you are in your cycle if you're a female. So it's definitely really important to take those things into consideration. That is not a reason to not get hormone testing done. Like I've had doctors, I'll request labs from people's doctors and they'll be like, no, there's no purpose in, ordering sex hormones ordering sex hormone panel because they change so much. I'm like, I understand that they change so much, but you should understand how they change, where it should look like for them in optimal health. Because of course, like with a female hormone, your sex hormones are constantly changing, but you need to know when you took it in that person's cycle to be able to understand, where it should be in that specific cycle, okay? Optimally, you should be taking it like either at a specific time during that cycle or getting a cycle mapping test done where it tests your hormones within, I think there's 18 tests within 30 to 35 days to actually see that range, because again, there's an optimal range. It's like the cortisol pattern, right? Cortisol, it's higher in the morning, it peaks kind of at noonish, and then it slowly declines into the evening when you should be going to sleep. If you get one cortisol test done with your blood, at one point of the day, it's like, okay, so it's high in the morning, but is it chronically high, or is it a natural pattern? Or okay, it's later in the evening and it's kind of lower, but is it just naturally declining, or is it depleted, right? So it's really important to also understand the pattern of hormones. It's important to compare it against optimal ranges, not just standard reference ranges. And it's also extremely important to test the labs properly, because for example, testing hormones with urine is typically more accurate than testing it through the blood, and getting more than one sample, such as with a Dutch test, you'll test at a certain day in your cycle, and you will test four different times during the day, so that you'll be able to see that cortisol pattern, right? And because it's at a specific time where, okay, it's at this date in their cycle, their hormones should look like this at this time. That way you're able to truly understand what the hormones are supposed to look like, so you don't just have to guess, right? So anyways, I was not planning on going into all of that. I kind of want to just talk about why most doctors, why when people get their labs done from doctors, most of the time it just comes back normal. And also that doctors, they really are just so, I don't even blame the doctors. they're so restricted on what they can do within insurance that they can't order, like they just can't physically order more than that unless you're willing to, pay money for the lab. So you might as well just pay money for the labs anyways and get way quicker care and actually understand what's going on in your body, having it compared to the optimal reference ranges, not the standard reference ranges. So anyways, that is flag number 1, okay? Flag number 2 is they prescribe a drug or supplement for every diagnosis and symptom, which typically tends to just, create more symptoms. So if we're talking about health practitioners here, for example, before getting into like the medical drug side of things, I see so many individuals, they understand the negatives of, getting on a bunch of drugs, right? So they go to a naturopathic doctor or holistic health coach like me. But what tends to happen when they go to these people that I see all the time and I have personal experience with is, like, I'm going to just bring in my personal experience. When I went to I think it was like an integrative health practitioner or something like that to help try to heal my body. What she did, I would explain what symptoms I was having, and instead of offering any like nutritional or lifestyle adjustment, she would be like, okay, so you feel like you're out of breath when you're working out. Here's some molecular oxygen to help improve that. Or, you're having bloating, here's something to help with the bloating. Or you're having brain fog, here's something to help with the brain fog. When those supplements, right, okay, sure, they can have some improvement in those areas, but supplements are meant to be supplements to your overall plan of healing your body, okay? And I am a firm believer in that. I am not the person who will be like, oh, you have gut issues? Here's a supplement plan for you to do real quick. Instead, I help people make the proper nutritional and lifestyle changes in order to actually heal their body. And a lot of times with my clients, they'll come to me with brain fog, fatigue, gut issues, hormonal dysregulation, and sometimes, not all the times, it depends on the individual, but sometimes I'll see these health issues disappear before we're even getting into specific like supplement or health protocols, just by making the proper lifestyle and nutritional adjustments, because their body is able to get out of fight or flight and their body is able to heal, decrease inflammation, and their gut is able to repair because you're fueling it properly. Your blood sugar is balanced. Again, you have decreased inflammation, which helps support your body in healing. Again, others of my clients do need specific supplements and protocols, but it's so important to start with just getting your body out of fight or flight, and able to actually heal, making the proper lifestyle and nutritional adjustments, because that is what you need to do to heal your body. So if your naturopathic doctor, integrative health practitioner, nutrition coach, I don't know, functional medicine doctor, whatever, is only giving you supplements and nothing else, maybe they're like, okay, do an Epsom salt bath like once a week, or maybe just drink more water or eat more protein. If that's what they do, then that's not enough, okay? You need a specific, comprehensive, but also step-by-step, so you don't stress yourself out, because stress management is really important, but step-by-step plan and protocol to actually heal your body. This stuff is so incredibly important when it comes to healing your body. Now, on the medical side of things, for when doctors are like, okay, you have PCOS, here is a drug to manage that PCOS. This is what you call a Band-Aid drug. So pretty much what it does, it's not actually healing your body, okay? So let's say, for example, if you have PCOS and they put you on birth control to try to regulate your cycles. This is not giving you back an actual regular cycle. You don't even have like ovulation. Like this, it's not even working anymore because the drug is just pretty much taking away and making it seem like it's working when it's not actually working. And your symptoms may improve, but what's happening is it's not healing the root cause of the issue in the first place. It's putting a Band-Aid over it. And what also happens, again, I'm just using this as an example, what also happens, okay, is you start to develop other symptoms. You're like, okay, what's going on here? Maybe you're starting to notice more fatigue. Maybe you're starting to notice more depression. Some people, when they get on the pill, it may take their acne away. Other people, they'll start to notice acne, right? There's a bunch of different things, and this goes for any drug, okay? There are a bunch of symptoms that people tend to develop when they get on a certain drug, okay, that then the doctor's like, okay, let's get on this drug for your acne, or if you have blood sugar dysregulation, they'll put you on a drug for blood sugar dysregulation because you actually didn't learn how to regulate your blood sugar, which is a big cause of PCOS, you know, since we're just in this topic. But anyways, I digress. So then you end up having to take drug after drug after drug, or supplement after supplement after supplement, with no real improvement in the root causes of your issue, because you're not addressing what's causing the issues in the first place. I know there's so many coaches and practitioners who are like, we treat the root cause of your health issue. And like, that's great. And I went to a practitioner like that, and all they did to treat the root cause was put me on a bunch of supplements. I do not believe that that is treating the root cause, okay? I do believe that a lot of the supplements that they were using, if they integrated it properly, it would have properly healed the root cause, but they didn't work on my nervous system. You know, they didn't help me optimize my nutrition. They didn't help me optimize my sleep. My sleep was terrible at that time, and they did nothing about it. She didn't even know about it because she didn't have a comprehensive or a very detailed, I guess, discovery process. So it's really important to pay attention to these other things to help people heal their body holistically. That's why I'm a holistic health coach, because I believe not one supplement, not one drug, not one thing will heal your body. You need to take a holistic approach, truly understand the individual and what they specifically need to heal their body in a holistic way. Number 3, the third red flag, is they provide no real lifestyle optimization to support or teach you how to fuel your body properly. This is such a big one. And one that I have talked about a lot in this podcast already. But look, if they are putting you on 20 supplements a day, if they're putting you on a super restrictive diet, if they're just maybe prescribing weight loss drugs, antibiotics, you know, birth control, metformin, that's as similar as a weight loss drug, but you get what I'm talking about. If they're just, you know, not diagnosing, if they're just prescribing or recommending a bunch of different drugs or supplements with no real lifestyle optimization to support, or lifestyle optimization support, or actually teaching you how to fuel your body properly, and instead just tell you to take out all the foods that you've ever loved plus more, and that just like ruins your relationship with food and your life, because that's not very fun, then you need to reevaluate the support that you're getting in healing your body, okay? Because getting support in these areas, as I talked about before, is extremely important when it comes to actually healing the root cause of your body, because it's addressing what caused it in the first place, right? If your body, if you have insulin resistance or blood sugar dysregulation, metabolic inflexibility, and instead of learning how to regulate your blood sugar, fueling your body properly, you just go straight to keto or carnivore diet, some people may see improvement here. You know, it will decrease your inflammation, but it's not actually, right? It's not actually teaching you how to fuel your body properly. Those diets are not sustainable. So once you get off carnivore and you start eating normally again, all your issues are just gonna come back. And like, I'm just gonna be honest, I have not seen anyone sustainably succeed with those diets. So please, let's just like put these super restrictive diets to the past, okay? And actually learn how to fuel your body properly and regulate your blood sugar, okay? Things are so important, all right? That's exactly what I help people do. And number 4, the fourth red flag is, oh my gosh, I'm getting ahead of myself. I love this. The fourth red flag is, I've gotten ahead of myself for so many of these things when I'm talking in depth, because look, these are all very related. But the fourth one is they suggest a super restrictive diet as the fix for chronic illness or gut issues. I could literally be so rich right now if I got a penny for the amount of people who have told me that they've tried keto, they've tried AIP diet, they have tried intermittent fasting, they've tried carnivore diet, they've tried like low FODMAP, and though some of those diets do have a time and a place, I am not that type of coach who's going to just completely hate on that. I do understand that some of those diets have a time and a place, and I have even integrated some of those diets with my clients if necessary, like the low FODMAP, if that's necessary, more so for like comfort as we're healing their body, then that's what we will do. However, if your doctor, especially when you want to be concerned, if your doctor or coach is telling you to go on this super restrictive diet without teaching you, okay, how to fuel your body properly, I could talk about this forever, okay, then that is a really big red flag, because they're not, like, for one, they probably don't fully understand nutrition. Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Doctors do not understand nutrition. They have maybe taken one super basic nutrition class in their life, and unless that specific doctor or health coach has gotten specific education or done their own research into nutrition, if they're providing you, just like telling you, okay, we're just gonna go on carnivore diet, okay? They likely do not understand nutrition fully, okay? And that's why they just give you this blanket, super restrictive diet, because they don't actually know how to teach you how to fuel your body properly, right? Which is why it's really important to work with someone who understands nutrition, okay? But if you have chronic illness, if you have gut issues, it's really important to make sure that you're fueling your body properly. And sure, as I mentioned before, specific diets may be necessary, okay? But first and foremost, you need to learn how to fuel your body properly and balance your blood sugar. That's the most important thing. And if something more advanced is necessary, then that's just what's necessary. But if you are going on these super restrictive diets without even knowing how to fuel your body properly in the first place, then that's a waste of time, okay? And the fifth and final one, I already talked about a little bit, okay? But we're talking about it again because I see this all the time. This is for females, so females, listen up. If your doctor tells you, I'm gonna actually have two things in here because I wanna talk about two things in here. So first part of part 5 is, if your doctor tells you to go on birth control to regulate your cycle, please just like run as fast as you can the other way. I'm serious. As I mentioned earlier, going on birth control, okay, it's a Band-Aid drug. It is not actually regulating your cycle, because what it does is it makes pretty much a fake cycle. I've never been on birth control, so I don't have personal experience in this, but I have gotten experience in it through my education, okay? And so what you do, you're on it for about like 3 weeks, and then from my education, I believe this is how it happens. Again, I've never been on it, so I don't know, thankfully. So you're on it for 3 weeks, and then you cycle off of it for a week, and then that's typically when you get your cycle. This is not a actual cycle. It is completely fake. You are not having ovulation, which is extremely important for regulating your cycles. You're not actually having your period. And the symptoms that maybe have gotten better while you're on birth control doesn't mean that your body is actually healed, okay? It does not mean that those symptoms have healed. It means you're just putting a Band-Aid over that symptom without actually healing it, okay? Additionally, I know so many individuals who have had, like pretty much anyone I've known who has ever been on birth control has experienced nasty symptoms when going on birth control, so much so that they have to get off of it. And then once they get off of it, sometimes their body's like, oh, heck yeah, this is what I needed. I'm gonna just heal up real quick. But other times, things come back with a vengeance, worse than it was before. And then you have to do cleanup after getting off birth control because your hormones are just going crazy because you've been giving your body synthetic hormones for so long. So then you take those synthetic hormones away, they get depleted, and then they're kind of going crazy and they don't know what to do. And you can develop, estrogen dominance or testosterone dominance. This can develop PCOS. A lot of women, when they come off of birth control, have a high risk of developing PCOS. It is not a good time, okay? And of course, if you get off of it properly, your life will be a lot easier than if you just, get off of it cold turkey. So definitely, if you need help with that, let me know. But yeah, so please do not just get on birth control to regulate your cycle, because that's not actually healing the root cause of your symptoms. Second part of this part of number 5 is, if your doctor gives you antibiotics for every issue, like if you have a cold, strep throat, if you have an infection, like a simple infection, please just, I'm not gonna tell you to not, because it can definitely be life-saving, okay? But I want you to be mindful of the effects that antibiotics have on your body. For one, it completely wipes out not only the bad bacteria that's causing whatever infection you have and the bad bacteria in your gut, but it also wipes out the good bacteria in your gut. Now, there are a couple of things that I want to talk about when it comes to this and when it comes to antibiotics specifically. So 80% of your immune system is in the gut. Crazy, right? So if you wipe out your gut pretty much, good and bad gut bacteria, your immune system is going to significantly decrease. And what is also going to happen is, I think it's like 80 or 90% of serotonin, 60 to 90, I can't remember the specific number, a lot of your serotonin or your happy hormone is also created in your gut. A lot of hormones are actually created in your gut, okay? And so what this can do, one round, and I don't remember the number specifically, so please don't quote me on this. If you want to do more research onto it, let me know. But one round of antibiotics can increase your risk of depression by about 20%, and 2 rounds can increase your risk of depression by about 60%. Again, if you want to fact check me, because I'm just trying to remember this off the top of my brain. But in any case, look on any study, okay? It does increase your chance of depression, anxiety, and other mental disorders, which are not very fun to live with. So it's really important. Like, those are just a few things, you know, other than it like tears up your gut lining. It's not good for your gut health at all. But those are just a few things that, you know, antibiotics affects. Those are a few ways, sorry, that antibiotics affects your body. And again, if it's a life or death situation, please listen to your doctor. I am not here to tell you to not listen to your doctor when it comes to these things, okay? Please, you know, listen to your doctor, but also educate yourself on how these things are affecting your body. It's extremely important to understand this. So, those are the 5 red flags to watch out for in doctors and coaches, and how I specifically help people. I talked a little bit about how I specifically help people in healing their body. Now, if you want to learn how I can help you regulate your hormones and your gut to build muscle and lose fat while eliminating bloating, chronic fatigue, and restrictive eating through my Experience Health program, you'll be getting quadruple accountability support, you know, monthly coaching calls, weekly check-ins, private messaging access to me, community support with like-minded individuals, which is super sick, along with specific holistic health protocols to heal your body holistically, okay? And personalized programming, because we love getting strong as well, as strong and fit. So if you're interested in learning more about how I can support you with my one-on-one coaching, go to the link below to apply for coaching and hop on a quick discovery call with me to see if we're the right fit to work together. I'll talk soon. Bye.